All right, guys. Hi, this is Kevin, Kgmjam, owner of Pro Advertisers Club, a totally free site to advertise. Go to proadvertisersclub.com and join for free today and start advertising for free. You can advertise your NFTs, your YouTube channels, whatever it is you want. Just keep it legal, nothing illegal, no porn. That's pretty much it, I guess. But I'm going to have to get a bigger computer because all I can do, all this little Chromebook can handle is what I'm doing right now. Pretty much, I can talk. I can't really show any images. If I do, it freezes up. I can I can use the banners to get across some information. But I just want a Q&A anyway. And although I have nobody watching right now, but so I just love to talk about Veve, DC NFT Palm, HRO, Virtua, which is now Veneer. Now that's the third time they've changed. They went from Terra Virtua. They might have been something before that, but that's when I got in with them, and they were called Terra Virtua. Then they changed it to Virtua, but Terra Luna collapsed. They didn't want to be associated with the same first name, yeah, that was Terra, and they changed just Virtua, and now they're called. They just changed it to Veneer. I got the email yesterday, and their TVK token, if you own it on a regular exchange, you're not going to have to do anything. It will transform into Veneer. But if you have it offline in a wallet or anything other than an exchange, you're going to have to swap it. And on the email, they give a whole list of that. That's why I don't deal pretty much anything past an exchange, because I have a hard time doing that stuff. So if you haven't heard, that's what's going on with Terra Virtua or Virtua. If you don't know what Virtua is, go to them and check them out. They pretty much are set up like Veve. They're a little bit ahead of Veve, but they're way behind in probably sales. But they do have a metaverse that's already rolled out. They've got a showroom. They're selling land. They do sell comic books and collectibles and music, I believe. And I think some books. They're doing stuff like that. But it's a nice setup. It really is. Just, like all other NFT projects right now. Other than Veve and HRO and DC NFT Palm, they're all down in pretty much, they're still selling out or selling NFTs, but there's just no new people coming into it right now. And that's probably not going to happen, if at all. It will happen during this next bull run, which we're hoping starts in the next few months. And if they aren't ready to go mainstream, they might wait till the next bull run. And nobody seems to talk about it. We just assume that they're going to latch onto the Bitcoin crypto bull run and ride the coattails. Now, that is true. When the crypto people get more money from the crypto going up, they will invest in NFT. So that could give a spark there. But if the company itself is not ready to go mainstream, and Veve's not, they aren't at the point they want to be, where they have really gone all out. Like, they're not on Disney Plus. Not that they might ever be, but it would make sense if they do. Disney doesn't promote Veve. I was just in the parks last week. Nowhere could I find any evidence, any banners, any signs, anything pointing to Veve, and it's in their best interest to do so. So the question is, why aren't they? And it's because they're not ready to go mainstream. There's still too much to do. There's regulation. They're waiting to see with the OMI token. They can't really do anything with it till they are ready to, see what the rules are, which for some reason the SEC's been real slow on coming out on. And it's a smart move, but it might be longer than we think it is. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen in 10 years. It's just, they got money. They got deep pockets. They're not going to go to your schedule. They're going to go to their schedule. whatever that might be. The fun part is talking about it, trying to figure out what it is. This is never financial advice. This is very amateurish, just getting together, talking about it, hopefully introducing new people to it and bringing new people in. But if you like to collect and you like NFTs, then subscribe and like. And I'm going to stream pretty much as I can whenever I can, because like I said, I just love to talk about it. It's on my YouTube channel if you missed the stream. I've got about 550 followers. Not all of them, a lot of them are from my truck driving days when I was doing truck driving videos. So probably a third of that is NFT people, crypto people. And I'll be honest, this is my second live stream. I haven't had a single person show up yet, and I understand that. But again, I don't mind. I'll put it on YouTube and you can watch it. This one's more experimental. I'm practicing with the banners. I kind of like that you can log in and then I can change the banners. I can make up as much banners as I want and then swap them out for you while we're talking, and that way just spreading some more information type thing. I like the DCA $10 into OMI to Veve whenever I get a chance. And today I bought the Star Wars #1 issue. I used to have it and I sold it. It was probably about, I think, $24, between 17 and 24. I can't remember, but it's come down. It's down now. I think I picked it up for $10, and it was the lowest mint under $10. It was like 11,000 and something. And on my comics, I like to stack them about 10 deep. So I'm going to get 9 more of these as long as they stay under $10. It's right near $10, so this might be the only one I can get unless they go back down. But again, I don't see anything triggering the bull run anytime soon. We're hoping the halving does that. Crypto has shown a little bit of a pop in the last couple weeks. Been very nice, for it really hasn't done anything in about a year. So Bitcoin's actually doubled in price since last year, because it was down to about 18,000, I think. So it's easy to forget that, because after a year of it just staying at like one price, it usually goes up and then it just pisses down to about 17, and then it skyrockets back to 37, and now it's doing a little pissing right now. But that could be a sign of things to come with the crypto market. And like I said, when the crypto people get money in their pockets, they want to spend it. They spend the Web3 gains on the NFTs. That's what will probably start some sort of a bull run. But I'm telling you, getting new people into this platform right now is almost impossible. We are getting some occasionally, but there's just so much bad news about it that pretty much everybody who's in it's been in it for a while, and we picked up one here or there. But I'll tell you what, every Veve person, if we went out, I think there's like 20,000 of us right now, active wallets. If you go out and you just get one person and introduce it to them, and they start, like, look right here. See this banner's changing? I clicked that about 5 minutes ago to swap it out. That's how weak my computer is. It's a Chromebook. And so this is pretty much the limit of what I can do with this right now until I get a better computer. Because I like to swap to other tabs and, like my NFT page, you see prices and research and stuff like that. And it's still it's struggling to come through. And I turned the music off, and that didn't help. So I left it on. The music is a little bit of a speed that helps with the energy type thing. I've always liked music in the background when I'm streaming, whenever I watch the streaming shows. If it's too loud, let me know, but I think this is about a good level of sound. and all that. But anyway, getting back to the next bull run, yeah, we could, if they're not ready to roll it out, and like if you go on Immutable X, they're hiding the data. The number one platform on Immutable X right now is God of Chains, or Chain of God, whatever it's called. It's a card game type platform, and Veve's nowhere to be seen on it. Now you can go to the Mutascan, and you can see everything they're minting and what's selling, stuff like that. And you can go to Veve statistics to see stuff. But when you go to Immutable X, the data is just it's being under the radar. It's hidden. And I don't know why. I don't know why with the OMI token and Veve, they're just they just want to stay under the radar. They're slowly adding stuff and building. And if there's anything, I believe they know what they're doing. And again, they're going to do it at their pace, not ours. I know it's frustrating. A lot of people get upset about it, but it's just the way it is. And you want them, if you're curious about this site and you love it, you want them to do it right. So if that's time is what it takes, that's what it takes. You're just going to have to deal with it. But I love strategy. I love to hear people's stories. I got in on this one day. I was on the computer and got an email from Disney, Marvel, and it was telling me about the first NFT comic book drop. And I don't know if Terra Virtua beat them to a first comic drop. As far as, but it's definitely the first Marvel comic drop. That I know for a fact. In fact, it's the only place the readable comic NFTs are at. Now, some people will say these aren't NFTs because you can't take them off the site. They are NFTs, but let's divide it into two groups. There's those NFTs that you can put into a wallet and put on another platform, and there's those that you can't. And right now, you can't even transfer within the platform. They were having too many problems with money laundering, they claimed, and they shut that down. But they are NFTs. They are on the blockchain. If you know how to look it up, go look at it. Do your own research. Don't just check into a website or a streaming service and take everything that we say. I did hear on a streaming show the other day that if for some reason Veve went out of business, all the IPs have a deal that they can take their NFTs, IPs off of Veve and put it onto one of their new ones. So that's good news, because the biggest worry was, well, if Veve goes under, do we lose all our NFTs? So the answer, according to them, is no. I have not been able to find out any written evidence of that, but the owner did come out and say that, and I can't imagine Disney would not honor that. Why would they put their most valuable IPs on this platform if, one, they even thought it might have a chance of going out of business, and two, see, I can't even get that open up all the way. It's kind of half and half. So let me hide it, see what happens. Coinbase wallet might be an example. They're doing NFTs now. I don't know what the other ones are doing, pretty much. But Recur's the biggest example. They just went out of business. Actually, it's been a month that they've been out of business, but you had till yesterday or the day before to take your NFTs off the account. And I was able to do that on the last day. There was two of them. I had the Recur pass, which you had to buy in order to even access the platform. And then I had the Star Trek Starship Enterprise, and I cost me $17 each to transfer them over to my Coinbase wallet, because they're on Ethereum, and the Ethereum gas prices are still incredibly high. But they're strictly, at this point, would never be anything more than collectible, and they're a part of history, so I didn't want to lose them. There's already people making offers for them, even though they're lowballing me like 10, 20 bucks. But I got about 300 into the two of them, maybe 250. Because I think I paid 100. I paid 80 or 100 for the pass, and I paid 150 for the Star Trek Enterprise. They were promising a game with those NFTs of the Star Trek, and once you bought it, it sat there until they went out of business. They never did a damn thing. And I kind of saw a lot of us saw the writing on the wall, and we just kind of forgot about them. And but the good news was you could transfer you didn't lose your NFTs. And that's a nice part about NFTs. If you're playing a video game and you buy things for your video game, skins, whatever, when they upgraded the game or made a new one, you'd lose them. You might be able to sell them to other players on the game, but with NFT now, you can take them off. You can put them in other games. You can sell them to people on different platforms. It makes you the owner of what you're buying in these games, and it's here. It's really not mainstream yet, but it's coming, and it's something that the gamers are going to love, because let's face it, gaming is big business. It's humongous, and with the interaction with crypto and NFTs and gaming, it's going to be I believe it's going to be $1 trillion industry. Okay, maybe not for 10 years, but it's going that direction. Now, imagine you're playing Skyrim, and instead of, this is just me speculating. I have no evidence of this. I have no connection. I'm just using my imagination. But what they could do if they wanted to, and they might, these companies, because they already have some games that you can do it, when you play the game and you find a chest, you get gold coins that you get into your, not into your personal bank account, but the game bank account. But what if when you open up the chest, you get instead their token? Let's say they're using Bitcoin. There's 20 cents worth of Bitcoin in it. And so think about how that would promote their game. People would start playing it in the millions because they want to collect Bitcoin. If that's what they want to do, that's what they can do now. It's the technology might not be there yet. They might not have the infrastructure, and maybe they do, and they just haven't rolled it out. But think about that. What it enables these companies to do, and trust me, they're all in on it. They're all in on it. They might not be pushing it because those who went too fast are out of business. And they might know it's going to be 5, 10, 20 years. So they're taking their time. But it enables them to put sell pressure on everything. And just by like what I said, what makes you want to go buy an NFT? Well, right now it's just because you want to collect it. You might be a flipper. You want to flip it and double your money. And pretty much, that's kind of like what you can do with it now. But imagine when they add utility. They make an NFT that is, okay, with this NFT, you can get into this part of the metaverse, or you get into this part of the game, or you get this club where you will drop something it's unlimited what they can do with it. Your imagination will be the limit. But everything they add to that will want people to own it. So instead of one group that wants to buy it, if you add utility for 9 different groups, you now got 10 different groups that will want to buy that NFT. That's what's going to push the market, as well as the crypto market, the floods with money. They're already on Veve. Let's use the Golden Moments, the Walt statue. I have read that if you can join the Walt Club if you have one, and why you own it. There's a guy in LA who, if you come into his restaurant, gives you a 25% discount. I don't know if that's exact, but those are the kind of things that just an owner of an NFT can apply. So, well, how would that work? Well, you'd come in and on your phone, you'd show them that you own it, proof of ownership, and then you get. But there's 4,333 now. What's the big deal? I don't live in LA. I'll never be in that restaurant. Yeah, but McDonald's could do that with an NFT. Wait till you have McDonald's putting out their own NFTs. Walmart NFTs. Walmart, you go to the Walmart store and they will have an NFT section. eBay, Amazon are already building NFT stores. NFTs are going to be so big when it happens. You would never guess that now. But it's like on Veve, the prices keep dropping, yet people are buying them up left and right. Think about that. Who are these people? One guy came in and spent $1 million, $2 million on them the other day, buying at the bottom. Because they would not be doing that if they didn't know. These people are probably better connected, more intelligent, know what's going on. They're not just, buying in on a gamble. They're buying in because the longer the prices stay low and go lower, people like me are selling them for cheap because you need the money to pay the bills, and they're buying them up at bargain price, down 90%. If this was a bad product, nobody would be buying it. I'm not talking about the little sales like when I buy something for $5. Nobody's going to be coming in spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you don't know who these people are. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But there's kind of a way to look at what they're saying and what they're doing are two different things. It's like Kramer when he comes out and says, this stock is the best stock in the world, go buy it, and it plummets the next day. Because what he just did was, with his platform, was able to reach millions of people who went and bought that stock, and then the next morning when the profits are high, they dump it. And whoever they are, politicians, investors, whatever. And so then it plummets, everybody panics and panic sells, and then it drops to 10x less the price, then they buy back in. And Kramer pumps it again. If you go by the Kramer index, your losses would be so great, you'd be bankrupt. This guy does it, and he doesn't get fired because he's a company guy, he's a deep state guy. They'll keep him there to keep doing this over and over and over. If you did exactly opposite what Kramer told you to do, I think he's on MSNBC, whatever. You know him, he's always on TV talking about stocks. But his track record is so bad, yet they won't fire him because he's their guy. And he told everybody to sell Bitcoin a day before it skyrocketed just 2 weeks ago. He's out there doing the same old shit. And doesn't bat an eye. He is what he is. They got him in the pocket. He doesn't. But if you come in, if you're new and you just, say, I can spend $20 a week, $20 a month on this, then start collecting. If anything, start learning all you can about it, because it's here to stay, and it's going to be more and more in your lives, whether you like it or not. And so the more you learn about it, the better you are. And that's what this stream is going to be, just to talk. These other streamers that have been around for a long time, you go on and they Q&A, for an hour or two, and you can learn. So you don't even have to ask a question. You can just listen, and they will. You'll just learn a whole lot. Now, a lot of that information can be wrong. A lot of my information is from what I heard from other people. So you always have to do your own research. And you'll be better off that way. Let's try a banner again. See how long it takes to pop up. Well, my little $75 Chromebook just isn't cut out for this. If I open up a tab, it just crashes. Now I pushed that button 20 seconds ago. Well, yeah, it's not. It'll pop up eventually. It is what it is. Um, yeah, I'm just learning, experimenting anyway. It's not a big deal. Uh, there it is. But hey, subscribe and like. If you see me live, come on and talk and ask questions, or if you ever want to come on, I'll love to have you. Good or bad. I like to hear. There's a guy, Vel Anderson, that the community just tore apart because he started asking some serious questions about the Veve, and I want to hear both sides, because you need all the real data that you can get when you're doing stuff like that. And could he have just been doing it to, like Kramer? Sure, there's always that possibility. But the more he's been around, he's starting to get back in with the community, because he's being fair. He's pointing out the good things. And really the only complaint he's been able to have, they're going to go at their pace, not yours. You've got to realize that. That's where a lot of us made a mistake. The last bull run, we were up 90%. We should have sold. And at that point, you're like, well, it might go down a little bit. Well, it went down a lot. And it took 2 years to do it. It was a slow. I mean, you could have sold any time in the last 2 years and be up 2x what you are now, because it just has continuously gone down and down and down and down. And you're like, oh, that means it's going out of business. No, it's not, because if you look what's going on in the background, their sales are pretty much bigger than anybody's. And that's not possible if the people who are buying, who are these people buying? They're the people in crypto. They're the people in NFTs. They know what's going on. So they just are buying it up at these rock bottom prices. And if it goes down more, they're buying more. If it goes down, because they can only buy what people sell, especially after the drop happens. Now, the whole time, Veve's been doing live drops, 3, 4, 5 a week. And you literally can buy a $10 NFT and it be worth, $1,000 if you get one of the rare ones. Most of the times you're going to get the common. And when you get the common, most of the times the price is going to drop below that $10 right now. Now, in the bull run last year, a couple of years ago, that wasn't like that. You could get the common and double, triple your money, and it would sell out in seconds. Now it sells out sometimes, especially if it's something real good. But if it's not, it might take a week or two or a few days. And the common, the uncommon, the rare sometimes will drop below retail. But at that point, why sell it? Just hang on to it. But they're coming in and buying up the floor on commons. Go check it yourself. Go to vevestatistics.com. It's on Veve feed, and you'll see exactly what they're buying. You're like, well, why did somebody come in and buy 10 $1 comics? Because they know it's coming. They know, look, to double your money on a $1 comic, it just has to go to $2. And most of these commons were at $15 or higher dollars in the bull run. Even the most, the good grails were up to $300 per common. And you're picking them up for $10 right now. Subscriber number one, it was up to 300 something bucks, and now it's at $10, $11, $12. Now there's 48,000 of them because it was one of the first comics to come out. They over mint it. So now the mint runs go between 3,500 to 10,000. That's pretty much where they're keeping them at. So you can still make some money if you score on the drop. But a lot of people are sitting out the drops and then going and buy with that, say it's a $7 drop. They'll go buy 3 or 4 commons where they probably, the odds are you're going to get one common for $6.99. And then they stack it that way, and they're waiting. They're just patient, So whatever your strategy is, it's got to be your strategy. can't be somebody else's. But Terra Virtua, that's their third name change, and their comics are dynamite. Now, Veve just put out their very first comic. It's called Addiction, and they did a physical comic at the Comic-Con in New York, and they also put out an NFT for it. Now, the NFT wasn't attached to the comic. Like if you bought the comic, there might have been when you bought the comic a code that you could use. I don't know because I wasn't there. But they also had a drop for the comic on the NFT platform, and they were passing out codes. You could go get the comic. But that right there is a great trip. Why? Even if you don't like the comic, the comic's pretty neat. It's about a girl who gets she's a drug addict, and her powers are to be able to inject drugs into anybody, and she uses it for good. I think she's a detective. That's the background of the story. But as a collectible or an investment, it's the very first Veve comic book. It's the very first physical with a drop comic book with the NFT. Now, the Marvel comics have a physical comic already in the real world, and they have for decades. And that's what they're dropping is like Spider-Man #1. Then they drop the NFT. But it's coming where I believe Marvel, when you buy the physical comic, if they're allowed. I don't see that's the regulations are probably what is slowing them down or implementing it or whatever. But comic sales in the real world are just independence. A lot of it has to do because the stories are so bad and it's woke. And the woke part is it's such a small group that is interested in whatever they're writing about. So you're not catering to the larger group. So you're not going to have as many comic sales. I don't understand why they can't try to keep everybody happy, type of thing. That would have been they seem not to show any interest in that. And but I mean, a lot of reasons the comic book sales are down. That they can't be just the woke stuff. There's other, but when you attach an NFT to that comic, when you go to the store and you buy the comic, it will have to be sealed. Otherwise, people will steal the code. So you'll be buying the comic in a sealed envelope, or sealed, whatever they put it in, and that will make it valuable if you don't open it. Now the code will expire, but say they put out 10,000 sealed comic books with 10,000 codes, and you're the type of person that doesn't want to open it and collect it that way. Well, what if you're the only one that out of the 10,000 that doesn't open it? Now you've got the only unopened comic. That makes it very valuable to a collector. Very valuable. But say you do open it and they sell out the 10,000. You go on the platform. You now have two comics. You have the physical, you have the metaverse comic. Okay? And both of those you can sell. Both, one, the other, whatever, you can keep. The physical, I would hope, was serial number, but I don't know if they're going to do that. But the NFT definitely is. Well, then they put out another 20,000 that isn't that doesn't have a code. So you're breaking these into different groups that different groups will want to collect for different reasons. So say you connect 20 different collectible points to this one item, where you only used to be able to do 1, 2, or 3. It puts so much buy pressure on it. And that's why salespeople like this arrangement. That's why NFTs are going to explode. Eventually. They're not mainstream yet. They're just not. That's true. Veve just did the Funko Pop, 18-inch gold Iron Man Tony Stark, 3,000 limited run, 50 on the secret rare. And so if you're lucky enough to get secret rare, you got right now they're going for 1,500 in eBay. for the physical, and they're going for 2,000 to 3,000 NFT, and it was $150 to buy. Now, if you got the common, there's only 1,500 of them. There's only 50 of the secret rare. There's 1,500 of the common, and those are going for about $75 for the NFT and the physical. So if you sold both, you break even. But if you hang on to them, I think you're going to get your money back, if not more, because this is this is a grail in the way that it's the first physical NFT drop that Veve did. They might have had one more. Either way, it's huge. It's very limited. So that's why the more you learn about the NFTs, the better off you're going to be, and the more you understand what's coming. The question is, are we in the right spot? Do we own the right NFTs? Why wouldn't they put buy pressure on these NFTs with utility? If they don't, they have their reasons, but they can always just make up new ones and drop them and add utility. That's definitely a possibility. They could pull their IP off of Veve, and if that happened, would Veve be able to survive? Well, that's part of the reason why Veve made their own comic book. They're going to make their own comic book line, probably. That's probably what they want to do. I don't know. Who knows what these guys talk about behind closed doors? But I would say Disney's very happy with Veve. At the very least, it's proving to them that this is going to be a big moneymaker for them. Because remember, every NFT that they have on the platform gets them a percentage when it sells in the secondary market, ever. So if that one NFT sells 1,000 times, that's 1,006% of whatever. And the higher the price, the more the 6% is. So if they can push a price of an NFT up to $100,000, every time that sells, they get $6,000. Now they've already made tons of money on the product, but it's a gift that just keeps on giving. And imagine when they have millions of NFTs on the platform, and they're having millions of dollars of sale every day, and they're applying utility, and it's driving the prices up. That number will go up, up, and up, and they're continuously dropping more and more NFTs. Again, it's just whatever they get together and think up that they'll be able to do. And once they attach it to Disney Plus, which I have no proof if they're going to do that, but I cannot see they would not. You got 250 million people on there around the world, and they're watching the Avengers show, and boom, you see a little symbol that says go to Veve and get a 20% discount on this NFT, or dropping the wait till they start selling the movies in NFT format. And you're like, why the hell do I want to buy it? I can watch it on Disney Plus for free. As an investment, as a collectible. The movie NFT will come out with a lot more stuff on it, but you can go probably watch. You can watch the movie either way. So they're not doing it yet, though. I don't know what's the holdup or when they're going to do it. Probably waiting for the right time. The Veve verse is coming out eventually. Splinterlands is talking about theirs for 4 years now, and it just now got the land was out, but now they're opening it up finally in the next couple of weeks, supposedly. So it just takes time. You just got to be patient. But do your research and see what's coming and be in the right spot at the right time. And you might do very well, maybe. But don't go nuts. Don't do anything stupid. Don't go mortgage your house out so you can go buy NFTs, because that's rolling the dice. More than likely it's going to end up in a disaster. But if you DCA in what you can afford, the minimum that you can put in is $10. You don't have to spend that. You can buy the cheapest $1 comic a day with that $10. So every 10 days you put in $10, it's $30 a month. That's a responsible way, and it's fun. You have a good time doing it. So I'm going to end the stream here. This will play on Veve if you want to watch it. If you get on and make sure you like and subscribe, because right now I don't have a set time. My schedule is so all over the place, but it will be better for me if I set up like 9 o'clock every night, so that because I know I have a hard time making it to other people's streams. People I follow, I have to watch it after they stream, because I just can't get there live. And I'm also the type that if I'm not there when it starts, I don't want to do it. So that's just the way it is. But anyway, like, subscribe, and follow. I'm also on Twitter or X. Go to proadvertisersclub.com, join for free, advertise for free. And thank you, and have a nice day. And it's going to take about 20 minutes for the end. No, there we go.